Razer's been crushing it for the last few years, and it doesn't look like they're going to be letting up anytime soon. Today we're going to take a look at the DeathAdder V3 Pro, and just as the name implies, its intended use is for competitive gameplay. We're going to dive into all of that, and then I'll throw in some additional options if the V3 Pro isn't quite what you're looking for. Also, you should know I bought this mouse with my own money, and it wasn't sent out for review. So opening up the box, you get the mouse itself, a dongle, and a cable to connect to your PC, and you also get some grip tape for the V3 Pro. The battery life here is rated for 90 hours, which is excellent considering the insane sensor performance on this mouse, but we'll go into more detail about that here in a minute. The shape here is quite a bit different from the older DeathAdders that you may have used in the past. They removed the aggressive curves on this mouse and pretty much turned it into a wireless EC1. My hands are 19 by 11, and when I claw grip this mouse, I feel the pressure directly under my pointer and middle knuckle, and it's a bit harder to push the mouse into my lower palm. When I use the X-Lite V2, I feel a more even pressure in my lower palm versus just being on the left side of my hand, and I have even pressure under each of my knuckles. I think the V3 Pro is a great fit for people with larger hands using claw and palm grip. If you're someone who uses fingertip grip, there are plenty of other mice already out there that would be better suited for you, so I wouldn't recommend buying this mouse for that grip. So here I've got the V3 Pro next to the Vaxi Outset and the Pulsar X-Lite V2. As you can see, the Vaxi is the smallest of the bunch, while the X-Lite V2 is right in the middle, and the Razer is easily the biggest. Taking a look at the weight of all three mice, the Outset weighs in at a whopping 76 grams, the Pulsar X-Lite V2 is 60 grams, and the V3 Pro is just 62 grams. This is really impressive considering how much bigger the V3 Pro is and the fact that it has no holes or cutouts anywhere on the mouse. Also, the weight balancing here is incredible. When I pick the mouse up, I don't feel like I'm holding a big ergo mouse. When the weight is balanced this well, it makes a big mouse feel much smaller in hand. So Razer really nailed the balancing on this one, just like they did with the Viper V2 Pro. The build quality here is absolutely fantastic on my copy. It feels very sturdy in the hand, or when I'm squeezing on it to check for issues. There's no rattling, creaking, or flexing. It feels extremely sturdy compared to most mice, especially for only weighing 62 grams. So far I've had no issues with gripping the mouse. There's no coating here, it's a plastic matte finish, and it's quite a bit smoother than the texture on the Viper V2 Pro. In my opinion, this makes it feel more premium than the V2 Pro, but it's not quite as grippy. Either way, I don't think this is too big of an issue, and most people will be able to use this mouse without grips installed just fine. The V3 Pro is using the same Gen 3 optical switches as the V2 Pro, and these are the latest and greatest from Razer. These switches are lightning fast, and there's no need to worry about performance or double clicking issues. Buttons 1 and 2 are very crisp and snappy, but not quite as tactile as the clicks on the Viper V2 Pro. They feel really high quality with minimal pre and post travel. There is quite a bit of side to side wobble if you're trying to move the buttons, but in actual use I've felt zero wobble and no grinding. The side buttons on the V3 Pro are awesome. They're pretty big, so they're easy to hit, they're extremely fast and crisp. A lot of side buttons kind of feel mushy or loose, and there's absolutely none of that here. These are really easy to spam, and they feel great in any use. These are easily some of the best side buttons I've ever felt on any mouse. The scroll wheel is also fantastic. It's a bit more rounded than the wheel on the V2 Pro, and it feels like a higher quality wheel to me. It's definitely faster and smoother than Razer's previous mice. So in regular use, when browsing the web, it feels really fast and smooth, making it feel great for everyday use. The flip side though is if you use your scroll wheel to swap weapons in games, then it's going to be very hard to feel individual steps because of that speed. It's definitely easy to spam for games like Apex, and overall it feels very premium. Alright, moving on to the bottom of the mouse, we've got 3 PTFE feet. They're well rounded, pretty fast, and very smooth. They feel high quality, and if I main this mouse, I would need to swap these feet out. Next to the sensor, there's a button that doubles as the power on and off switch, and also the DPI button. The V3 Pro is packing the insane Focus Pro sensor, which is literally the pinnacle of gaming sensors right now. Take a look at these crazy specs. Max speed is 750 IPS, 99.8 resolution accuracy, up to 30k DPI, and the max acceleration is 70 Gs. Seeing as how humans pass out while doing 9 Gs, I think it's safe to say you don't have to worry about the performance of this mouse. The V3 Pro is compatible with Razer's 4000Hz dongle. If you're someone who loves squeezing every bit of performance out of your system, then this is an easy recommendation, but keep in mind if you upgrade to the 4K dongle, it's going to draw a lot more power than the standard 1K adapter, which of course will lower your time in between charges, and you won't be getting the 90 hours of battery life on the 4K dongle. The base price for the V3 Pro is $150. So if you want to add the 4K dongle, it's going to bring your total to $180 plus tax and shipping fees. That's definitely a price that's going to keep some people from ordering this mouse, and if you're one of them, then I would highly recommend looking into the Pulsar X-Lite V2. It's a wireless 60-gram ergonomic mouse with a 3370 sensor, and it has excellent in-game performance for only $80. And if you hate holes on your mouse, then Pulsar has the X-Lite V3 coming out this year with no holes, new optical switches, and a 3395 sensor. So if you're a bit confused on which mouse to buy after hearing all that, let me break it down for you like this. If you're on a limited budget, save up $80 and buy the X-Lite V2. If you hate holes but don't want to pay the high price tag for the V3 Pro and you can wait a little while longer, wait for the X-Lite V3. If you just want the best of the best and you have larger hands, buy the V3 Pro. None of the other mice mentioned in this video can hang with the V3 Pro spec-wise, and Razer really does have the absolute best wireless and optical switch performance in the game. The QC and build quality on my copy is perfect. The whole mouse just screams quality, and if I was an Ergo mouse user, this would be my main right now. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about the mouse and the pricing in the comment section. I'm not just saying that to trigger the YouTube algorithm, I'm genuinely curious, so please let me know. And of course, if you have any questions about the V3 Pro or any of these mice, leave it down below and I'll get to it when I can. Hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.